So looking ahead to this Patriots game, the Bucs play without Antonio Brown, which I think it could be a bigger factor than people are realizing. As an additional weapon off the field. Gronk got hurt in the middle of this game, and obviously the Bucs didn't lose this game necessarily because of offensive side from the running game. And obviously Gronk can be a factor in the run game. But what do you expect if Antonio Brown is cleared from the COVID-19 protocols? The Patriots are not in a great situation right now themselves at 1-2, just got bombed out by the Saints and a pass rush they couldn't slow down. What are you seeing looking ahead to week 4?
I don't know how the Patriots stay in this game, and it's only a 6-point line. So Vegas is giving a lot of respect to Bill Belichick. If anybody's looking ahead, not that he's prone to do that either, but I think if anybody was looking ahead to a big matchup, it would have been the other side of this.
Yeah.
This is Bill Belichick's legacy in some ways. If Tom Brady comes in there and stomps all over the field that he owned for 20 years and does it with Bill Belichick snarling on the other sideline, that's an image we won't be able to get out of our heads as sports fans for a long, long time. So Belichick's got something cooked up. He's not just going to let Brady do this with ease. I just don't know how the Patriots keep up. I mean, Bill Belichick can be the brightest mind in the building, but at the end of the day, you got to have the horses that run the race. And the Patriots just don't have a lot of talent. They're decent defensively, but they don't scare you at all on offense. And now James White looks like he's going to be missing time with a hip injury. So it's just another guy down. They signed John U. Smith in free agency to a ton of money. He looked terrible on Sunday against the Saints. And who else? I mean, what? And that's the thing. The NFL, it's a matchup game. So the Bucs have a banged up secondary. Well, that's perfect because you don't need a good secondary to stop the Patriots. You'll be able to handle that with the dominant defensive line. The Bucs, what do the Bucs do best on defense? They stop the run. What do the Patriots love to do more than anything else now that they don't have Tom Brady? They love to run the football. Yeah. And it's just a bad matchup. I don't see how New England hangs in this one. Antonio Brown coming back, I think in the future is a big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal for this game because of everything I've spelled out. I just don't think the Patriots offer that much to worry about. But we saw it on Sunday against the Rams. When you don't have the full allotment of weapons, all of a sudden, that glaring weakness of no possible run game, they just have no semblance of it. It becomes more apparent because now you've got Gronk went down for an injury very briefly, but it's Evans, it's Godwin, and it's an older tight end. All of a sudden, that offense looks a little bit more human when you don't add the Antonio Brown component, a Pro Bowler playing in the slot or out wide and allowing Godwin to slide into the slot. It creates a problem that I don't think existed for the Rams to deal with on Sunday, and it showed some of the weakness and vulnerability that the Bucs do indeed have.
Yeah, and you're right. I don't think that the Patriots, as of right now, especially with this dink and dunk sort of scheme that they're running, especially with they're overprotective. I don't know if you saw I did a write-up on this from Sunday. Belichick wouldn't even allow Mac Jones to speak to the Saints after the game. He literally, Jameis Winston came over to Mac Jones and did the traditional quarterback kind of a conversation after the game. Mac Jones was literally sitting on the bench sulking about, he had just thrown an interception. It was his third of the game. He was about to go and talk to some other Saints players. Belichick literally grabs him by the wrist and leads him off the field. And to me, that image was a microcosm of the way that they're handling Mac Jones. And we're talking about him not going down the field and not stretching defenses and all of this sort of thing. Now you're going in here against a Bucs defense. The strength of their defense is the front seven. And you're literally playing the game within a 15 to 20 yard window. Yeah,
it's dangerous. I did not see that. I need to look at that because that's one of those little things you can pick up a lot from little moments.
Little moments, man. So final score, if you had to predict right now, obviously I know you haven't seen injury reports and that sort of thing, but if you had to predict the final score of that Bucs-Patriots game, what do you see?
28-17 Tampa Bay.
You're giving them 17 points. I'm shocked that you're even giving them 17.
They're at home. They're probably going to start hot. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 7-10 out of the gate. New England looks really good, and everybody starts to go, oh, man, Belichick's figured it out. The home team typically has a way about scoring first and getting ahead of that momentum that they have and their fans create. The fans are going to be jacked up for this.
Oh yeah.
And you script those first couple series of the game more than you do as the game goes along. It's more about adjustments. The adjustments are going to favor the other side. Not that Belichick's not smart, but just just having the talent on the field to being able to actually adjust to what Belichick's throwing out there. That's kind of the way I see this one playing out. I hope that over analysis over the week, how this stuff goes, doesn't sway my opinion too much. I end up starting to, I get psyched out by the Vegas odds makers. Like, what do they see where they actually have the Patriots as only 6-point underdogs in this game? I've got them losing by 11 and coming up with a score in my mind. That sounds right to me. And for now, and maybe leading up to till kickoff, that's what I'll stick with.
Yeah, I'm thinking honestly, man. I'm thinking 34-10 Bucs.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I cover the Patriots every day, and I've done it for the last 2 years. And I'm telling you, I just don't see a way for them to keep up. From they're not going to be able to control this game on the ground. This Vita Vea, this front seven, this is a nasty group of dudes, man. And you're not going to just pound the ball straight down their throats and think that you're going to set up play action opportunities. You don't have a mobile quarterback who's able to make you play 11 on 11. You don't have any of that stuff going for you. So you got to out scheme them with inferior talent. And I just don't see it. So we'll see. I'm sure Patriots Nation is hoping that I'm dead wrong, but that's what I see, So
isn't there a portion of Patriots Nation that leans the side of Tom Brady anyway, because he's like their deity?
Yeah, honestly, it's very similar, right? So I grew up in Chicago, and it's very similar to the Michael Jordan effect, right? When there were a bunch of people who swore that they were Bulls fans, but they literally realized that once Mike retired, they were really only Michael Jordan fans.
Yeah,
because the thing of it was it was very difficult for them to continue to follow the team without this great superstar leading the way. And those people found out, I really don't love the Bulls. I just love this ballhead guy who kept leading us to championships.
Right.
So it's, and I think that a lot of Patriots Nation is going through a bit of that realization that you weren't ever a Pats fan. You were a Tom Brady fan.
Which is interesting for that city because they've got great sports fans.
Yeah.
They've got loyal sports fans, and they've stuck out with the Red Sox through thin and thin, through thick and thin. The Bruins have a great following. The Celtics, it doesn't matter how good or bad these teams are through history in my life. They've always had great support. But the Patriots were at the bottom of that list until Tom Brady took off. And so, it's I think there are a lot of Patriots fans that didn't realize that the Patriots were easily, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but just from the outside looking in, when I was growing up, the Patriots were at the bottom of the list for what Boston sports fans cared about.
I mean, you're talking about Steve Grogan, Tony Eason, and all those. Yeah, absolutely at the bottom of the list.
And it might free fall back down to that. That'll be interesting to see. Let's not forget about the Gronk factor too. Tom Brady's going to be motivated, but don't be surprised if Gronk pops a couple in the end zone on Sunday as well.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, it might even be expected at this point, even though the Patriot linebackers are pretty solid. So they will more than likely, honestly, I think if Adrian Phillips plays, he gets the assignment of Gronk, and he's been taking on larger guys, the last 2 seasons. So I don't know. I think they may have a fairly decent answer with Gronk. He's a fantastic player, so you're not going to hold him, but it'll be interesting. That part will be interesting, but I just think that I think where the Patriots lose is on the outside, and it's just trying to contain Brady and the weapons that they have to throw outside. So I think that'll be where it is. But
I look forward to the chess match. It's going to be great.
It might actually be checkers.
Nobody knows Brady better than Belichick, and seeing that play out on Sunday Night Football standalone game, it's going to be great.
Oh, it is. It's going to be fantastic.